Well, it's been more than 5 years since Sandra Crispo disappeared from her hometown in Hanson. The 54-year-old grandmother was last seen at her house in August of 2019. Boston 25 News reporter Bob Ward has been following this case from the beginning.
And now, for the first time on New England's Unsolved, Crispo's daughter reveals new information to Bob that she hopes could shed new light on what happened.
There's really no end point of grieving. It's just a cycle that continues.
In 5 years, Lena McMahon has not stopped thinking about what happened to her mother. In August 2019, Sandra Crispo vanished. Police still don't know if Sandra is alive or dead.
They had drones, they had canines, they dug up her basement, they searched pretty extensively.
And there was no trail for her anywhere.
No trail.
Lena tells me she believes her mother was a victim of foul play and that members of her own family know more than what they're saying. In 2019, weeks after Sandra disappeared, Lena and her husband Tim testified before a grand jury.
Did you get an indication that they were close to an indictment or close to taking some solid action against anyone?
Yes, from my understanding in 2019, they were pretty close, to making an arrest.
But no one has ever been arrested. Lena tells me 2 years before Sandra's disappearance, Sandra's father died, leaving behind a substantial estate that included up to $1 million in gold bars.
It's destroyed our family in more ways than just one. Amanda
McCann is one of Lena's cousins.
There was a huge rip in the family concerning inheritance money. It's been an issue since 2017, I'd say.
And I think she was a victim. I think she was targeted for something she didn't have.
Which is money.
Which is money.
Tim McMahon was the last person to see Sandra. On August 7, 2019, he dropped her off at her house after taking Sandra's car to a local mechanic. On the way home, Sandra stopped for cigarettes. These are the last images of Sandra Crispo.
How was Sandra the last time you saw her when you were talking to her? Did anything seem off with her?
Nothing extremely off.
The next day, Thursday, Sandra did not answer Lena's calls. And on Friday, when Lena stopped by her mother's house, Sandra Crispo was gone.
I had a bad feeling initially that something was very wrong because we have a homebody grandmother that normally, is very responsive, now all of a sudden just gone.
Lena grew more concerned when she learned that neighbors heard a loud argument the night Sandra disappeared. And inside Sandra's tidy house, Lena said she found small droplets of blood on the floor and on the walls. 5 years later, Lena and her husband fear the worst.
What would be the motive for anybody in your family to do something to your mother?
I believe that somebody thought she had gold, and I think she was targeted, and I don't think they got anything.
Why would somebody do this to Sandra?
I believe it was inheritance. I believe it was greed.
5 years of silence, of not knowing what happened to Sandra Crispo or where she is, has taken a real toll on her family.
I just want answers from my mom, because at the end of the day, she's a person. She's a grandmother. She deserves justice.
The Plymouth County DA told me in a statement that Sandra Crispo's investigation is open. Anyone with information should contact Hanson Police or State Police detectives at 508-894-2600. For New England's Unsolved, I'm Bob Ward.